be critical.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you again at our future events.
Welcome to you all. I'd like to begin by respectfully acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional owners and custodians of the land where we're gathered today. We all pay our respects, I'm sure, to their elders past and present, and I would also like to acknowledge their youth in whose hands is held our hope as a nation for a reconciled future. Hello and welcome everyone to another Affinity Lunchtime Lecture. My name's Pauline Wright. I'm President-elect of the Law Council of Australia, and I'm a past President of the Law Society of New South Wales and of the New South Wales Council for Civil Liberties. But mainly, I'm a proud member of the Affinity Advisory Board. So for those of you who have never attended an Affinity organisation event before, let me briefly introduce you to the organisation. Affinity was formed in 2000 by a group of young Muslim Australians. Their aim is to promote multiculturalism and to foster intercultural and interfaith dialogue by building bridges between different groups of society. So to give you a brief idea of the wonderful work that Affinity does, they've put together a short recap video of the annual 2019 New South Wales Parliament Friendship and Dialogue Iftar, which we'd like to share with you right now.
There are so many high calibre people attending here, and I'm sure a lot of you have sort of met each other and looked around the room. To begin our program, I'd like to call on Walangari Kantawara to present the acknowledgement of country.
Ramadan Mubarak. I would like to acknowledge the Aboriginal First Nations people of the Sydney area, the Eora Nation.
Learn one new thing tonight and take that away and tell someone else.
This blessed month of Ramadan is a great chance for all of us to come together in peace and harmony. Thank you for not letting hate or fear and division infiltrate New South Wales. And on behalf of the New South Wales Government, I'd just like to wish you a blessed Ramadan. Thank you.
Amit and your executive committee and your volunteers and your sponsors and the many people, you're the only one that I know that can be able to bring everyone together, and you do a fantastic job. So I'm very, very happy to be here co-hosting with Minister Sidoti.
And our final host for this evening is Amit Polat. Now, I would hazard a guess that about half of you in this room would say you're Amit's cousin.
I greet you with the Islamic greetings of Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. I have impatiently been waiting for tonight to share my DNA results. It appears that I am from all 6 continents in the world. What a delightful Turkish delight. I'm linked to all humanity. So tonight, standing in front of you, I can proudly say, you are my all new cousins, uncles, aunties.
On behalf of the Advisory Board of Affinity Intercultural Foundation, I welcome you all to this warm and inclusive friendship and dialogue iftar dinner.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
On behalf of the Consulate General of Sri Lanka in Sydney, I would like to thank Affinity Intercultural Foundation for inviting to the New South Wales Parliament Friendship and Dialogue Ramadan to start today.
على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون.
The power of sport, when used to give a voice to the voiceless, strength to the downtrodden, and rights to the persecuted, is extraordinary. It can truly and evidently challenge governments, monarchies, and anything in between. Yes, I feel a part of this great country, and I feel welcomed and respected, just like Hakeem.
Hi everyone. I would like to thank Ahmed to invite me here, and Ramadan Mubarak to everyone.
Now this is Ahmet's holding up a top, which has been a jersey signed by Hakan for you, Craig, and on it the message says, "To my brother Craig, who strives to help his fellow football players at difficult times and shows an example to the football community that freedom and human values may be bigger than football."
But we owe it to the victims of these attacks to work together to find the cure. And it seems to me that a good place to start is right here in this room to help us break down walls by breaking bread together. Ramadan Mubarak.
This year, the recipients of the first award are Sean Rubenstein Dunlop, investigative reporter at the ABC, and Lucy Carter, researcher at Four Corners ABC, for their incredible work on the Four Corners episode, which was called Under the Radar. This followed the Christchurch terror attacks, which claimed the lives of 50 people.
The most important thing, I believe, it focused on building relationships with people in our region, and their relationships of mutual respect and friendship. And we discover that our lives have purpose and meaning, and its purpose is wanting and working so that others may flourish. Friends, Ramadan Kareem.
Whether that be cultural diversity, religion, gender, disability, Indigenous, income, age, geography, or socio-economic backgrounds, the media can and should play a role in stimulating positive and balanced discussion on issues related to all of these, including Ramadan, that many Australians we know partake in.
A night like this is not possible without dozens of local businesses and individuals funding many of Affinity's programs and events. Would like to thank those sponsors now and present to them some tokens.
But it doesn't matter how well we do or don't do, it is that spirit of Ramadan, a tradition of self-reflection, of gratitude, forgiveness, respect, understanding. All the speakers before me have mentioned elements of that, and this is where Ramadan is beautiful. It is that spiritual connection. And as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And with that in mind, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this evening. It is through the shared meaning, purpose, and experience that the bonds of friendship, understanding, and unity are forged. Ramadan Mubarak. Good evening to you.
So it's easy to see how effective Affinity has been in promoting multiculturalism and building bridges between the different communities of our society. But I'll move on now to It's my great pleasure to introduce my friend and colleague, today's facilitator, Elizabeth Espinosa, the President of the Law Society of New South Wales. Elizabeth Espinosa took up the role as President on the 1st of January 2019. She's the first graduate from the University of Wollongong to hold this position and the first member of her family to practice as a lawyer. She is a strong supporter of professional integrity, the rule of law, natural justice principles, education and diversity and inclusion. In her current and previous role as General Counsel in a local government authority, Elizabeth is a crucial part of the executive team and a lead decision maker in numerous complex matters. She's often been involved in the interplay of various Commonwealth and state legislation and corporate governance and probity principles. She's taken a year's leave of absence from her role at Liverpool City Council, where she generally manages and supervises 3 divisions: legal, governance and procurement. She's from a culturally and linguistically diverse background herself, Spanish background, and her family is very proud of what she's achieved in one single generation. Sorry. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Espinosa.